The cameras were rolling, the lights blinding, and the audience was buzzing with anticipation. It was another fiery night on the primetime political debate show Face the Facts, hosted by the relentless Pam Bondi, the former prosecutor known for tearing guests apart with her razor-sharp tongue. Across from her sat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, calm but clearly ready for battle. Dressed in a sleek navy suit, her expression carried both confidence and restraint, the kind that warned anyone not to underestimate her. Pam opened the segment with her usual smirk. "So, Congresswoman Crockett," she began, crossing her legs dramatically, "you've been talking a lot about justice and equality, but some say your speeches are all talk, no results. Care to explain why your district still struggles while you're busy giving fiery interviews?" A few people in the audience chuckled. Pam leaned back, satisfied. The trap was set. Jasmine smiled softly, eyes steady. "Pam," she said in a measured tone, "I don't do this job for applause lines. I do it because my community deserves a voice, even when people like you try to silence it." Pam's eyebrow twitched. "Silence it? Oh, please. You politicians always play the victim. Maybe if you focused less on playing the race card, and more on policy." The audience gasped. The temperature in the room dropped. Jasmine slowly leaned forward, her voice suddenly low, controlled, but powerful. "Pam, let me stop you right there," she said. "When you accuse me of playing the race card, what you're really saying is that you're uncomfortable hearing about real struggles. I'm not playing cards, I'm talking about people's lives. And that's something you'll never understand from your comfortable seat of privilege." A murmur spread across the audience. Even the camera operators paused, sensing something electric. Pam tried to recover. "Well, I'm just saying, maybe emotions don't solve policy problems." "Neither does arrogance," Jasmine shot back instantly. "You talk about accountability, but where was yours when injustice happened right under your nose during your time in office?" Pam's confident grin faltered. I stand by my record." "Good," Jasmine replied, nodding. "Then let's talk about it. You prosecuted minor offenders to boost your conviction stats, while ignoring corruption cases tied to your donors. Isn't that right?" The studio went dead silent. Pam blinked rapidly, her hand tightening around her cue cards. "That's not." But Jasmine didn't stop. "You tried to humiliate me tonight, Pam. You wanted a soundbite, something flashy to boost your ratings. But what you got instead is the truth. And the truth doesn't need makeup, lighting, or applause. It just stands." The audience erupted in applause. Pam forced a smile, trying to regain control. Okay, let's stay professional here." "Oh, I'm being professional," Jasmine said calmly. "You called me emotional. You called me a victim. But all I did was tell the truth. If that makes you uncomfortable, maybe you should ask yourself why." The host's fake composure cracked. "You don't get to lecture me, Congresswoman." "And yet," Jasmine said softly, leaning back in her chair, "here we are." The moment froze. Even the producer, watching from the control room, whispered, "This is gold." Pam turned toward the camera, trying to redirect the discussion. "Let's take a quick break." But Jasmine wasn't done. "Before we go," she said, her voice steady but fierce, "I want every young woman watching, especially women of color, to remember this moment. When someone tries to belittle your intelligence, question your worth, or twist your truth, don't shrink. Speak, even if your voice shakes. Even if they laugh. Because sometimes, the loudest power in the room is quiet confidence." The applause was deafening. Viewers at home flooded social media with clips within minutes. Hashtags like #JasmineOwnedPam and #TruthOverTalk began trending worldwide. Pam sat frozen, pretending to smile, but her eyes betrayed the storm inside. As the show cut to commercial, Jasmine looked at her calmly and said, "Next time you invite me here, Pam, make sure you're ready for a real conversation, not just headlines." Pam didn't reply. She just stared at the table, realizing that for the first time in her long television career, she had been outsmarted, not with anger, but with truth. The viral moment from Face the Facts dominated the internet for days. Clips of Jasmine Crockett's calm but devastating takedown were everywhere: news feeds, late-night talk shows, even TikTok edits with dramatic music. Pam Bondi had wanted a headline. Instead, she became one. Inside the Face the Facts studio, the producers were celebrating the record-breaking ratings, but Pam wasn't smiling. She sat alone in her dressing room, scrolling through hundreds of comments, most calling her arrogant, some mocking her tone, others praising Jasmine's composure. Pam Bondi schooled on live TV. Jasmine Crockett, the voice America needed to hear. Pam got bondied by her own attitude. Each headline cut a little deeper. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Her assistant, nervously peeking in, said, "Pam, the network wants to meet. They think maybe we should, bring Congresswoman Crockett back for a follow-up discussion." Pam's eyes narrowed. A follow-up? They want her back. After she insulted me on my own show. The assistant hesitated. They said the audience loved her. Pam exhaled sharply, anger simmering beneath her calm facade. "Fine," she said. "Book her. 3 days later, Jasmine Crockett walked back onto the same set. Same lights, same crowd, same energy. But this time, she wasn't the underdog. The applause that followed her entrance was thunderous. Even Pam could feel the shift in the room. Pam forced a smile. "Welcome back, Congresswoman. Seems like the people can't get enough of you." Jasmine smiled politely. "I guess honesty's popular these days." The audience laughed. Pam's smile stiffened. "Let's talk about the aftermath," Pam continued. "Since your last appearance, your comments have been called both powerful and divisive. Do you think maybe you went too far?" Jasmine tilted her head. "If standing up for truth is too far, then we need to redefine where the line is, Pam." Pam tried to cut her off, but Jasmine wasn't playing defense anymore. "See, the problem isn't that I spoke too strongly. The problem is that for too long, people have been told to sit quietly when they make others uncomfortable. I'm not here to make anyone comfortable. I'm here to make things right." This time, the applause didn't just come from the crowd, even a few crew members clapped quietly behind the cameras. Pam swallowed her frustration. "All right," she said coolly, "but let's not pretend you're perfect, Congresswoman. Some critics say your style is confrontational, even aggressive." Jasmine smiled, unfazed. "Funny you say that. When men speak with passion, they're called strong. When women do it, they're called aggressive. That double standard is exactly why I speak the way I do." A ripple of approval ran through the audience. Jasmine leaned closer to the microphone. "I'd rather be called aggressive for telling the truth than polite while doing nothing." Pam opened her mouth but no words came out. The control room buzzed. "She's done it again." One producer whispered. After the segment, as the lights dimmed and the audience dispersed, Pam approached Jasmine backstage. Her tone was different this time, lower, more careful. "You're good," Pam said quietly. "You knew exactly how to turn that around." Jasmine looked at her, not unkindly. "Pam, this was never about turning anything around. It was about holding people accountable, including you, including me." Pam looked away for a moment, then back at Jasmine. "You really believe you can change things?" Jasmine nodded. "I don't just believe it. I live it." For the first time, Pam didn't have a comeback. She just watched as Jasmine walked away, confident, composed, and completely unshaken. That night, social media exploded again. But this time, something strange happened. Instead of mocking Pam, some viewers started acknowledging her courage for bringing Jasmine back. Pam learned something today. Growth on both sides, that's rare. Two strong women, one important message. Pam sat at home later that night, staring at her reflection on the dark TV screen. For the first time, she didn't feel humiliated. She felt challenged. Maybe Jasmine Crockett hadn't just changed the conversation, maybe she had changed Pam too. And as she switched off the lamp, Pam whispered to herself, "Next time, I'll listen before I talk."